Hey folks, if you've never been to the Palouse area of Eastern Washington, I highly recommend that you go. It is an amazing, amazing location. Hopefully you've seen pictures online, which is great, but being there in person and trying to capture the essence of the Palouse is really a rewarding photographic experience. I've been there 30, 40 different times throughout the years. It's a place I keep going back to year after year. A lot of people ask me, when's the best time to go? You know, and if you look online at the Palouse images, you see a lot of quintessential images shot during springtime. Springtime is generally June, when the wheat's about a foot and a half tall. And you see these endless fields of green crops rolling off into the distance, and it's just magical. The other question I've been asked is when is my favorite time to photograph the Palouse? And as I said, I've been there a lot. I've been there in spring, summer, fall, winter. And for me, in the last couple of years, I find that the harvest time, the fall time, is the most rewarding time to visit the Palouse. And why do I say that? Well, you know, in the spring, we have endless green fields, and it's fairly monochrome throughout the fields. It's one shade of green that just extends over the rolling hills of the Palouse, and it's beautiful in its own right. But during harvest time, what you get is this additional complexity, this visual complexity amongst the fields. Some fields are unplowed and untouched, unharvested, and so the wheat stands about 2 to 3 feet tall. Then you have other sections where the wheat has been harvested, but it's left some stubble over the top, and you have, you know, foot and a half high wheat stalks. And then lastly, you have this sort of third type of terrain there, which is where it's been tilled. And it's this black volcanic soil that is showing through all across the landscape. And having these three different palettes, these three different tones, three different colors to work with compositionally really makes this a very fulfilling time to be an artist in the Palouse. And what I love to do is find different ways to mix the different textures and tones into different shots to create more compelling compositions. Let's go ahead and jump in. Let me just show you just a few pictures of what I'm talking about, of what it's like during the harvest time. All right, as I said in the intro, right, we have got fields and hills covered in this golden wheat. Wheat's about 2.5, 3 feet tall, and it's just magical and beautiful. And when the wind blows, you can hear the stalks of wheat rustling against one another, and it creates quite a hypnotic little sound when you're out there photographing landscapes like this. But you know, the Palouse is about light. It's about shape of the landscape. It's about the skies, and it can be just absolutely stunningly beautiful during the harvest season. You know, again, the folds of the landscape, the shape. This particular night or day, we had really clear skies, but it made a nice contrast between the gold and the blue. And then a sunset, there was a lot of dust in the air from all the harvesting that's going on, and it makes the sky have this really pastel look in the evening. It's blazing orange in the mornings, and then this sort of pastel look in the evenings. So using the wheat with the sky is a wonderful technique up in the Palouse. But you know, the Palouse is famous for its light, and it's famous for the shadows and these rolling hills. And this shot is from Steptoe Butte, and this is an example of some of the stuff that you can get during the harvest time. You know, as I said, I love the different tones and textures of the wheat fields. And here's an example of what you can do with light and different textures out in the fields to create a really amazing composition. There's lots of machinery moving about the fields to harvest and to till, and oftentimes you can use the tire tracks as compositional elements. Here I'm contrasting the light harvested wheat stubble against the tilled sections to create this sort of striation in the foreground below this ominous sky up above. Again, tire tracks. These are harvest lines, right? And I've got all these horizontal lines and then a couple of diagonal tracks running up the hillside underneath a really beautiful sky. And if we were in the springtime, this would just be a normal looking hill all covered in monochromatic green without any visual interest. So during harvest time, when they're actually working the fields, you get some of this additional visual interest. And as a visual artist, we're able to create compositions from hills that we would normally pass by during the springtime. Again, more contrast between the really black soil and the harvested section of the field. Here I've got, this is one of my favorite harvest photographs, where I've got a wheat field in the foreground, a tilled field in the background, and this one set of tire tracks running up it. And it's the contrast between these two fields. It's like light chocolate and dark chocolate in a way. It's this contrast that really makes this photograph work for me. Again, more contrast, and look at the different lines, look at the motion, look at the flow that we get out in the fields, and you don't get this kind of effect during the springtime. It's beautiful, but you don't get this visual interest. And as an artist, I love working with all of these different visual elements and trying to put them together in such a way that creates a really visually interesting composition. Again, the contrast against the tilled versus the harvested field. There happens to be a lone truck up on the hill. Really nice contrast, and it's really about the angle of how these hills come together, how these different tones come together on the right-hand side of the frame. It's that V that really got my attention and why I shot this photograph. You know, as I said, there can be a lot of dust in the air. This was early one morning, and it just has this orange glow across the entire landscape. One thing that's cool during harvest time, of course, is we can actually see them harvesting the fields. So if you're into some action shots, you can take photographs like this, you can take photographs like this, and these aren't staged. These are us just driving around and stopping at an area where they're harvesting the fields. And in this case, there's a young high school kid driving the big tractor while his dad's driving the dump truck. Other thing that's kind of neat working with a gold palette is that against the rust, the gold wheat looks absolutely amazing. The Palouse also holds wonderful treasures like this, old trucks, old cars, of course, old barns. You know, you can walk up in the evenings, you can walk up to some of the farm machinery and shoot some close-up shots. And here, you know, this is a combine, and it's got a few leftover wheat stalks sitting in the tray, and it just made for a really wonderful, intimate photograph. Similarly, putting on a macro lens is shooting the up-close texture and repeating patterns of the wheat. Spectacular. Just doesn't hit the same in the spring as it does during the fall. You know, light, of course, is everything. This is sunrise over different toned hills. We have the famous Weber house surrounded by golden wheat instead of green wheat. We have barns peeking out from behind hills, and in this case, I love this one because of the light foreground and the dark background with the barn in between. The way the light falls across the landscape, when we have shadows and highlights, it hits different on the gold than it does on the green fields. It's more dramatic in the golds, and so that's why I love shooting stuff like this during the fall time. August can also bring a lot of, you know, some thunder showers in the afternoons, and when you can catch some really dramatic skies overhead, it always accentuates really well against the golden wheat. You know, another shot of the famous Whitman Tower. You can see the different tones that we have in the fields, from the dark chocolate brown to the light gold, the way the shadow and the light falls across the landscape. There's even a tractor working in the very, very far background of this shot. So you get a lot of different things coming together into one particular shot, which just doesn't look nearly as visually interesting in the spring as it does in the fall, in my opinion. Of course, some of the barns, for me, the weathered wood of the barn shows really well against both gold wheat and green wheat. And really, it's kind of what you prefer. I think in this case, the blue and the gold, the blue of the sky and the gold and the wheat has a really wonderful contrast, and the weathered wood shows extremely well here. Again, close-ups of mature wheat stalks. Sunset one night. We get a little bit more unsettled weather in August, and just the light really went off this night. And this is a really wonderful location that I go to both times a year. But in this case, notice the lines that we have in the field and how they just add these multiple leading lines to take you quickly to the midground and then the background of this image. And then lastly, I love this little shot. This is a completely tilled field. It's all this chocolate brown, but there was one highlight of light right on this one little hillside. And the contrast between the light and the really dark dirt made this a shot for me to take. Well, hopefully you can see why I'm so excited and jazzed about shooting the Palouse in August. So much more visual interest and so many more visual elements to work with as an artist to compose images in this beautiful, beautiful landscape. So I encourage you wholeheartedly to go visit the Palouse. It is an amazing, amazing location. I often liken it to the Death Valley of the North, because a lot of the same concepts that you see shooting sand dunes apply up in the Palouse. We're shooting shapes, textures, patterns, sometimes color, sometimes not. We're shooting light and shadow. Those are the keys to really successful photographs in the Palouse. So I encourage you to go. If you would like, I would love to have you along with me. I've been doing workshops up there for the last 15 years. I've got 30 to 50 photo trips up there. I know so many locations to go to. I honestly can't fit them all in one particular workshop. But I really encourage you to go, and I would welcome you to come along with me on one of my photo workshops up there. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and happy shooting.